Welcome to another episode of Random Crypto. Let's start off with our disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor and I'm not offering any form of financial advice. Everything that I say is just my personal opinion. You should always do your own research before making any financial risk. Any investing is a risk and nothing is guaranteed. How's everyone doing? In this video, we're going to go over FNKOS. I think it's how you say it. That's how I'm going to say it. So FNKOS currently right now in CoinMarketCap is about a cent. Token is ranked 590. Came out in July and kind of hit its high point there. Got to about 14 cents on the 31st. Currently only up on one market. So let's go to the project. Everything is fog. Get it all connected. So I honestly think the project's kind of cool. What I've gathered is they're trying to create their own mobile phone system on the blockchain using fog technology. FNKOS is a fog computing-based blockchain operating system designed to make the best use of edge computing resources, such as idle hardware, network, and storage resources. Let's talk about the revenues that you're going to be able to receive. I'm assuming the tokens off of some appreciation for whatever reason, probably mining and stuff like that, or if you have a node. Consensus, it's a proof of contribution algorithm, and you'll be able to buy their own products using the token. This is kind of where it gets a little technical, but I think it's interesting, and I think it's actually a pretty decent project, but maybe the page is a little too technical for a lot of people, and maybe that's why it didn't do that well, or hasn't been doing so well. So smart contracts, what they're saying is the Ethereum smart contracts will be able to cross between their fog network, so that's cool. It has its own operating system, which is pretty interesting. It's using the IBM ESB and FNK techniques. From what I've looked up, that's pretty much just security and efficiency models, which is cool. It's an Android-based system, and they want you to kind of load it on ARM devices if you can, or it's able to load it on ARM devices, and so it's like Raspberry Pis, Pine 64, stuff like that. They're saying that it's efficient because it's using the C++ model, and that also guarantees safety. I'm not a programmer, so I'm sorry if I don't really kind of understand that. The users, pretty much you can use the project by buying their phone, buying a box, or pretty much installing their operating system on a third party. It's public because it's on the blockchain. They're providing network acceleration because they also want you to use it on IoT devices, Internet of Things. The computing power, it's because it's a proof of contribution. That's pretty much, it's going to be a bunch of computers put together to pretty much do all these computations. They're talking about the network. It's relatively lower cost than cloud computing, and pretty much the Funko devices you can put up on third parties, which is cool. So this is where it gets into their products, which is pretty interesting. So here's their phone that you can buy. Here's the deluxe version, and as you can see, there are definitely differences between the standard and deluxe version. And this one just looks kind of cool. Here are the boxes, personal version, enterprise version. Major differences again. Here's the history and timeline. So, the company started out 2014. This is a pretty decent timeline as far as the track record. I kind of wish they had some little milestones within, but it is kind of a long timeline. Here are some partners. So if you're still a little bit confused, I had to look some stuff up myself. So, like I said, the page is pretty technical. So, what is fog computing? So pretty much what I've gathered is that it's based off of edge devices, and pretty much you're jumping onto to service providers' networks. So, what are edge devices? Edge devices are pretty much enterprise service core provider networks. So routers, switches, integrated access devices, stuff like that. Which allows provided connections into carriers and service provider networks. So it's pretty cool. So like in my case, so the only thing I could think of is this example. So in my area, my service provider, as far as my internet service provider, has a lot of open Wi-Fi hotspots. You could use their phone and pretty much link up to their hotspots, and as long as there's nodes out there running, you should be able to talk. And I'm guessing as you're using the phone, because you're using the data, it would fall into their proof of contribution, because you're contributing to the project, you're using their phone, you're using their network. So that's pretty much the basics of it as far as I know. And then that's how it would work. Or I'm guessing you could piggyback or buy like, a hotspot for Verizon and stuff like that and use that. Or maybe they might have their own provider or somehow a way to hook it up to a service provider for that. But that's pretty much what I think of it. It's kind of a cool project. But I think the page is a little too technical for a lot of people. So let's get to some news. I'm sure everyone has kind of seen this. So the FBI are pretty much looking for help, or anybody who was a victim in the BitConnect exit scam. It's pretty funny though, because if you reach out to them, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be put on some list. But as I've always kind of told my buddies, if you're not on some kind of government watch list by now, you're not living your life right. All right, everyone, have a good time. Talk to y'all later.